Okay, so here we are in Plaza Baratillo, and today's continuous line drawing is gonna basically be this view right here. Super Mexican complicated, right? Crazy architecture, the fountain, doorways, people in the distance. Anyways, let's get to it. Continuous line drawing. Alrighty here. Got my paper taped down, and now I'm just going to put a little bit of a pencil outline. I do that to stop myself from going off the page. And, okay, so I've got my foodie. Where to start? Okay, I'm going to start right here. Why not? It's always the scariest, I guess, right? Where to start. It's so permanent where you start. I'm already lost in the fountain. I've drawn this fountain a few times, and it's always challenging. It's always challenging. And, you know, I'm not even sure what I'm looking at. I'm kind of guessing. And I'm just kind of making some noise, really, because really, this whole fountain is a lot of noise. And I know for a fact that those are fish on the side of the fountain. So, yeah. Just, yeah, doing the underbelly of that fountain, right? Looking up at it. I've stood in this plaza, from several angles, all around. It's never easy. I mean, first of all, you've got all this crazy Mexican colonial architecture that's wildly colored, and honestly, I didn't do so bad on that fountain. I mean, that fountain can really kind of trip me up. Well, not so bad. It's like a big flying saucer. Big UFO. And there's, got another fish on that side of the fountain. And then the buildings behind it, right? This is called Plaza Baratillo, and it's kind of U-shaped. And it used to be, well, it's called Plaza Baratillo, which loosely translated meant that it was the place of cheap things. It's where people used to be able to do their mercado shopping, right? That was a long time ago, because there's actually a mercado in Guanajuato that's full of cheap things. Now it's mostly like weird little shops. There's a chocolate shop. There used to be an Irish bar right over on this side. That didn't make it. I don't know. I think it's a tough town for businesses. It's a university town. And so, like, San Miguel's right over the mountain, but San Miguel's got a whole different kind of, like, business model, because it's more a retirement village, whereas this is university town. There's a lot of music. All right, so I'm not being precise about doors and windows. I'm just kind of giving the general sense of it, right? I'm trying not to get lost. There's, this sidewalks and there's lots of triangles and yeah. So, what am I doing now? Yeah, I'm just making some doors. Doors behind the tree. Oh, no, it's actually in the tree, but we don't. It's all right. So then there's like this alley. It's not an alley, it's a sidewalk that goes back up over the little hill there. So we get some sidewalks down. All right, let's throw in some people. The thing that I often do when I'm drawing people in Mexico, I give everyone a sombrero. Believe me, not everyone is wearing a sombrero, but it's for me it's easier to draw than like a pinhead or something. So all right, I'm kind of like just going over my lines here. And I can see that like based on the photo, my buildings are a little farther away, but I don't even care because I'm not trying to draw this exactly. I mean, if I were trying to draw and the exact the photo exactly as is, I would probably go a lot slower. I'd probably really take my time, right? I'm making all sorts of mistakes in the fountain, but it doesn't really matter because it's with the like I'm getting totally lost in this fountain. There's the fountain and then the pool around it and the buildings around it and the windows around it. And yeah, I'm getting all kinds of... That's all right. This is literally a, like a quick continuous line sketch of a complicated Guanajuato scene, fountain, Plaza Baratillo, steps. There's all kinds of plants and fences and fences and there we go. I mean, I love these kind of challenges. This is like the most exciting thing because, first of all, it's Mexico, it's Guanajuato, it's very, there's a lot of things. Earlier, I called this like Willy Wonkaville because it's just like, it's confusing. And, I oftentimes like to keep my lines, but I'm also, my heart is tugged towards the color because it's so vibrant here in Guanajuato. And while sometimes I will absolutely leave just my lines, here I am forging ahead and going to put some color because it's so pretty. And the challenge I have is to not go too saturated with my colors because I can very easily lose my lines because I get a little excited about color and I cover up my lines too much with saturated inks. I like to use my saturated inks. I like to use, bright, colorful water colors. So anyways, I'm trying to ease back on that and not go too heavy on the saturation. But it's always a dance because I never, I love bright, colorful scenes, right? This is kind of why I stopped doing watercolor skies because I felt like the sky was always too much. So by eliminating watercoloring the sky, I feel like I get it calls attention to the, my lines, as opposed to then trying to compete with clouds and blue sky and birdies and whatever. It already, I'm torn about, having used this much watercolor, and of course I'm not stopping, and, I'm just going to keep going with my watercolor here, and just trying to add some dimension to this like super old plaza, this fountain. Because if you look at the photo, there are parts of it that are quite dark, right? Like the fountain, the doorways, the trees. And so I'm going to attempt to keep it a little light. Well, see, now I am torn just because I like to get the value of that fountain, but I also want to preserve my lines. So it's never, perhaps I should just, challenge myself just to leave it as a line drawing, because I always love just a line drawing, right? Okay, let's get some splashes on there, because that fountain is usually bubbling, right? And splashing with water and alive with pigeons. This plaza is usually full of pigeons and dogs, and they sell bread. Hugo tells me it's like the best bread that they sell under a tree in this plaza. I probably have had it at his place, but you know what? I'm still just trying to figure out my way around town, and I have not yet bought bread in Plaza Baratillo. I actually found a really good bread bakery that has, as they say, award-winning bread. So let's see if I can wreck this fountain with my, what is this? My Pentel brush pen. I'm trying to keep those ridges up there really help tell the story. And I probably have gone too far, but now I want to add, there's always lots of pigeon activity on this fountain, so let me just add a few fellas. I got to work on my pigeon game. They're actually quite fat, and I'm gonna need to work on my pigeon game. There's a lot of pigeons here in Guanajuato. So there you have it. Here we have it. The finished continuous line drawing. Lots of liberties taken because it's complicated architecture, and we're not here to draw this perfectly, right? So we do the best we can, and continuous line teaches us composition, right? So there you go, everyone. Continuous line drawing, woohoo, from Guanajuato.